On this episode, we continue our 4 meals for 4 people for $40 series and are focusing on Hollywood studios. Today's February 4th, 2025, and this is episode 743 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Want to get a free Disney e-gift card up to $250? Book a qualifying Walt Disney World or Disneyland room or package through our preferred travel partner, MEI-Travel, and get a Disney e-gift card valued up to $250. This offer is valid for bookings made between January 2nd and February 28th, 2025 for travel check-in dates through August 31st, 2025. Certain restrictions apply. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So today's another fun one. I like these. I hope everybody else does.
Yeah, we get a lot of good feedback on this.
Oh, good.
4 for 40. That was a tough intro. It's February 4th. We got 4 for 40 for February 4th, and thanks God it's not.
743.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not 444 or something. But yeah, people seem to like these. We like putting these together because it really gives you, and when we do these, it's not as much like, here's the meal you got to get. And it's the only way you can get it. It's just, what it really does is offer a lot of ideas. Yeah. And I think it kind of shows that Disney, when you're really looking and you're really planning, doesn't have to be as expensive as you think for meals. Right. If you're there for a week and, maybe you haven't taken advantage of vacation grocery delivery to have stuff delivered to your room, which, you might not, because you might not spend a lot of time in your room or whatever it may be. And you're eating 3 meals a day, you got to find some cost savings. 100%. So that's what we hope that these can do. Yeah. Before we dive into this, I do want to say that I hope I never have to buy tickets to a concert again, even though we have a bunch coming up.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Man, I had to get y'all tickets this morning and for Morgan Wallen in Miami. And
yay! Me and Tina are going. I'm excited. I haven't been to a country concert.
When would have been the last time you went to one?
So I was getting my nails done, and I was like telling my lady, I haven't been to a concert. And I'm like, well, that's wrong, because I go with Jeremy all these places. But I haven't been to something I've wanted to go to. And
that you've chosen.
That I've chosen in probably 35 years.
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
But you're not a big concert person.
I'm not.
Like you wouldn't have seen this and gone, I want to go to that. It's
correct.
Because Tina asked.
Tina asked, and she likes country like I do. And so I'm super excited. It's in July. It's in Miami. So our daughters are going to go with us. Mm-hmm. But only one non-daughter is going with us to the concert.
Yeah, I know neither you or Tina are taking either of your children to the show.
But
you're taking your children's friend.
Yeah, but
which is hilarious.
She's like
to
a
me,
daughter to us.
Yeah.
But it's super cool. I'm super excited, and I said, "Oh, I got to get me some boots."
Yeah, and we'll go check out Bass Pro Shop. Maybe
I
take a look.
saw some.
Maybe do that after there, because I don't know. We have a very rare weekend at home with honestly not much going on. Yeah. Like we recorded yesterday. We're recording today. We're going to record tomorrow on Saturday to get way ahead of the game.
Because we've got a lot going
next
on.
week. Yeah. And then, so it's like we're getting way ahead. But man, usually in life, technology makes things better. And purchasing tickets through Ticketmaster who, first of all, I still wish somebody would take them down because it is a monopoly. I don't care what anybody says. It's ridiculous. Like, you think that would have progressed to make life easier. All it's done is make it harder. Like, to get, it is so frustrating.
And I don't, it's so funny because here's Tina and here's Rob and here's Jeremy, and all three of them have A, accounts, B, their credit card's already saved. I have no idea. If you told me right now to go get tickets on Ticketmaster,
you wouldn't know how to.
I'd be like, I'd be like Googling, like, how do I do this?
Keep your sanity, keep your innocence,
And don't do it.
and don't even bother. If you ever need tickets for a concert, I will take on the stress for you. You do not need that added to your life.
Well, you are,
It is
because
absurd.
the weekend is coming
Yes.
to Orlando in August.
Yep. Yeah,
And we're
the
gonna
Camping
try to
World arena, actually.
We're going to try to get tickets for little Lacey.
Yeah, that is one of her dream concerts. So we didn't get a chance for her to go to Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift. So we're like, we got to make the weekend happen just for her. So anyway, let's not talk about spending a bunch of money on things like concert tickets and extra fees and your $100 ticket turning into a $175 ticket. Instead, we're going to talk all about some of these dining locations in Hollywood studios that you can actually feed a family of 4 for $40 if you would like.
Woo.
Now, if you go back to episode 720, we did Magic Kingdom. And if you go back to 734, we did Epcot. Of course, after this one, we will do Animal Kingdom and we'll move on to Disney Springs. And then we're probably maybe going to do something around the resorts. So
okay.
If everybody wants us to. But
Yeah.
if you go back to those episodes, you can go over some of our cost-saving tips, like ordering breakfast items and snacks and drinks by Vacation Grocery Delivery into your room.
100%.
You know, times that you want to eat, ways to save some money by purchasing things like gift cards at discounted prices, all those things.
Yes.
But first, Rhonda, you want a couple little fun dining trivia and facts for Hollywood studios?
I always enjoy these.
Did you know? And
Probably not.
This doesn't do us good anymore, but you can get a morning mimosa, and a lot of people will find this necessary at Fairfax Fare for breakfast.
Oh.
Now they're $15.50, and you can actually get. There's not a lot of places you can get a mimosa in a park and walk around with it.
That's nice.
So that part's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you want something non-alcoholic, we actually really enjoyed the Bell Cup of Enchantment when we had it. Probably been a year or so, but remember we sat there, we got that, and we got the Enchanted Rose dessert that is now available.
That's right.
At,
it's been so long that I
Festival of the
really forgot to be 1,000% honest.
Yep. But this is really good. It is cranberry and passion fruit, orange guava, so pog juice with cranberry, and it's topped with a little yellow shimmer. It's got strawberry boba pearls for $7.59. So it's kind of that non-alcoholic morning mimosa style.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing that again when we go there. Maybe each get one and just walk down Sunset Boulevard or Hollywood Boulevard or something. Go shopping would be kind of fun.
Okay.
The Hollywood Brown Derby at Disney's Hollywood Studios is a replica of one of Hollywood's most famous early restaurants, the Brown Derby, and they are responsible for creating the Cobb Salad and the grapefruit cake.
And that Cobb Salad is fantastic.
It is the best on Disney property.
Yes, it is.
There are others, but there are nothing like the OG, right?
That is unfortunate, but very true.
Yeah.
Because, I think I would, it's easy for me to get to Hollywood, but I think I would wish there was something easier to get to.
For like a good Cobb Salad like that? Summer House you thought was pretty decent, right?
Yeah, it was.
What about in Grand Flow Cafe? Steph had it there,
liked it.
correct? And she thought it was pretty good.
But it wasn't Brown Derby.
It's not Brown Derby.
And then I had Brown Derby.
Oh my goodness. It is a good salad there.
Yes, it is.
Sci-Fi, of course, is famous for its thick hand-spun milkshakes, but it was one of the first Disney restaurants to offer a plant-based milkshake on the menu. Speaking of plant-based, the famous blue and green milk have no actual dairy milk in them whatsoever.
I knew that, and I really like the blue one.
We haven't gotten them in a long time. That's one of the ones we haven't done in a while.
It's good.
Yeah, they are good. They're actually made with, coconut milk and rice milk. So and they're frozen. So it is non-dairy, which is great because everybody can enjoy them. You don't have to have separate versions or anything. And then this, I don't know if I remember or not. I wish they still did it. ABC Commissary first opened, they had meals served on plastic TV trays to help match that studio cafeteria.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't remember that.
Yeah. That would have been cool if it was, same, I think, Satuli Canteen could have been set up the same
Yeah.
because that's supposed to be like the Ace cafeteria. It would be cool if it was truly set up that way, where it was almost like a what was it, Perkins? You know what I mean? Like that felt like a cafeteria, and you went through the cafeteria line, and you have the trays, the cafeteria trays, and you have the metal bars that are like you set your tray on and you scoot down, and it'd be cool if you could actually order like that way. So you'd go and there'd be a section that would maybe have some sides and salads, and it would be like, hey, for X number of dollars, you pick one side, one entree, and one dessert or something, and you go through this with little, lunch ladies and men and people on the other side with hairnets, like, and really make it feel like it was a commissary at a studio lot.
Yeah.
So little advice from Jeremy.
That'd be fun.
All right, let's move on to our meals. We're going to start off at Woody's Lunchbox.
Yeah.
What 2 items have we selected for the adults, which will each get their own entree?
Yeah. So we selected a grilled 3-cheese sandwich. So you have a melted provolone, cheddar, and American on a grilled sourdough bread for $10.99. You have a smoked turkey sandwich, thick sliced smoked turkey breast, lettuce, and tomato with Dijon spread, served on a multigrain for $11.49.
Yeah, and these are good hearty sandwiches.
Yeah, they are.
So this is going to help fill you up.
It's a whole sandwich.
It's a whole sandwich. Or you could half it. You could get a whole half each if you wanted to split this. You certainly could. And then for the kids, you look at getting the tachos.
Yeah.
This is a
good.
hearty, heavy meal. It is a bowl of potato barrels, which some people would call tater tots.
Yep.
These are covered with beef and bean chili, shredded cheese, queso, tomatoes, corn chips. It's finished with sour cream and a sprinkle of green onions for $10.49. This will feed 2 children. And if you remember, we're talking more of the children. This isn't to feed your 2, 16-year-old twin sons who are linebackers for their football team. You're going to have to get them each 1 or 2 of these. But again, this is to kind of help those younger children split something. But then if you want just to add on to that, if the kids need a little bit of something more, they've got these little packs of the mini Baby Bells, right?
Yeah, that's super cute. They're only $3.49, and there's 3 of them, and they're just like the ones you get in the store.
Yeah.
You just unwrap them and eat them, and then sometimes that might be something to get and to throw in your bag or something if it's not on a crazy hot day, because they will kind of melt.
Yeah, the new Baby Bell queso right inside of there. I think. But these are great to get, like Rhonda's saying, because they're easy snackable. We're going to keep you right around the $40 mark. If you stop here, you are under $40. So if that's what you had budgeted, go ahead and get the Baby Bell and throw them in your bag, even if you don't want them right then. But we even left space to get a raspberry lunch box tart.
Yes. Which is basically your Pop-Tart, but homemade. It's raspberry marmalade stuffed pastry coated with strawberry fondant and crispy pearls for $4.99. So this brings your total to $41.45. Again, if you leave that off, you're under $40. If you leave off the mini Baby Bells, then you're still under $40. But all of it, like I said, is $41.45. That's not bad.
It's not at all.
That's a good, you can, and the tart, I feel like sometimes, and I don't know if y'all are like me, but after a lunch or a dinner or whatever, I love just something sweet.
Yeah.
And when I say something sweet, I could just take a bite or 2.
Yeah.
I don't need a whole tart. So this tart would actually fit, take a bite. 4 people could split it.
You could.
Technically.
Well, and if you want, if you're not worried about grabbing that Baby Bell because you planned ahead and maybe you ordered snacks or Baby Bell itself from Vacation Grocery Delivery, then you could go ahead and get 2 Lunchbox tarts.
Yeah.
It's only going to take your price up about another $1, and then the kids split 1 and the adults split 1 if you need that.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty fair. Speaking of ABC Commissary, well, they do not have lunch trays or old lunch ladies with hair nets.
They have good food.
They have really, really good food.
Yeah,
I think
do.
this is still an extremely underrated restaurant.
Yeah.
What we're going to do here is we're going to actually split some meals here because they are large meals.
Okay.
And so the adults are going to split the buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich.
Which is
Rhonda will
good.
tell you what's in it. The reason I think this is splittable is because it is very, very cheesy. It is very, very rich.
It is.
I can tell you, if I was very hungry, obviously I could sit down and eat this whole thing as far as space in my stomach goes. but I don't know if I could eat a whole one of these myself, because once you get through half,
I
I
agree.
mean, this is buffalo chicken dip in sourdough bread and griddled. So what exactly is in the sandwich?
I mean, yeah, pretty much what you just said. Grilled sourdough toasted with buffalo chicken, Monterey provolone, cheddar, and cream cheese, served with a side of buffalo sauce and your choice of side for $12.79.
Yeah.
So there's actually quite a few different sides,
And
which
different
is
sides.
really nice. Yeah.
You know, this isn't
So-
just like fries or chips.
Right, but there is fries, which I suggest getting because there's the buffalo sauce on the side, and then the sandwich is so filled. If I remember correctly, eating it, some of the cheese and stuff would drip out.
Yeah, you're about to make your own buffalo
So you-
fries.
basically.
Yeah.
And there is a side of actual buffalo fries, but the other sides that you can get with your sandwich is Mexican rice, arugula farro salad, apple slices, mini Baby Bell snack cheeses, steak fries, or black beans. Again, super nice. So,
So go
with
with
that,
Go with the fries
I
for
would
this
say
one,
fries
right?
with this one.
And you could be settled, but again, because you're splitting as adults, if you want, you could add a black beans for another side, just say for $4.99,
Because that's with pork and topped with queso
Yeah.
fresco.
which can almost be a meal in itself sometimes. You know, when
yeah.
this has been years now, we had Carly Wiesel on,
Right.
and one of her favorite filling, low-cost kind of lunches was to go get the beans from the quick service over in Mexico at Epcot.
Right.
You know, and you can get, again, it's got pork, it's got queso on top of it. Then you have a chicken club sandwich for the kids that they can split.
Yep.
So this has marinated chicken, bacon, provolone, avocado ranch, lettuce, tomato. That's on a toasted brioche bun. Again, you can choose a side with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pick fries again.
Yeah.
And then if you want, add on, because you're well under budget, 2 things of apple slices additionally. They're only $2.79.
Yeah.
So that's something either the kids can eat there, or again, throw it in your park bag or a cooler if you have it, take with you. All of that food, which is 2 whole sandwiches, so each of you get a whole half, added black beans, added 2 times apple slices, you're still only at $34.26. So at that rate, you know, if you want to grab a specialty beverage, if mom or dad wants to get a beer or a cocktail, you can go ahead and add that, and you're
Right.
still only going to come out a teeny bit over budget at that
Or
point.
you could take off like the black beans and apple
Yeah.
slices, and because you do get sides, and add one more like lunch side. So
Yep.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of good.
Agree. There's a lot of options there. And
There
even going
is.
back to like, you know, to Woody's Lunchbox, one of those things that to me, it just makes sense to use vacation grocery delivery and have in your room is things like individual bags of chips or goldfish or whatever it may be. You bring those with you. That way, you know, you maybe have fries, a bag of chips to go with the sandwich.
Right.
Everybody's happy. You don't really feel as much like you're splitting something. So there's always those options. I would really take advantage of having food in your room that you can bring.
100%.
All right, we're going to move on to Docking Bay 7, which I will say the portions here are large, they're hearty,
so
they're
good.
hefty. The prices for adult entrees are much more expensive. They run like 15 to 18, 19 bucks,
They do.
but they're very shareable.
They are.
So what are we going to start with first for the adults to split? And then we're going to even add a little side for them.
This is the Endorian fried chicken tip yip. So this is crispy chicken served with macaroni and cheese and a roasted harvest vegetables for $16.29.
Now, this is fun to eat. It's fun to say.
Yeah.
But what is great, they also have a spicy version.
Yes,
That's
they
what
do.
I got last time. And it is very filling. It is very, very delicious. Like, I highly recommend this one.
Yes. And then the side, and I just want to get this I just would go in and get a couple of sides of these and just sit down and eat these, which is the crispy herbed yuca for $4.99. Now, I believe they are only 4 of them.
I think there were 3
or
if
4.
I remember. There were
Which-
3 pieces when we went. There were 3
Right.
yuccas.
Which is, you know, $1.50 of fry, but it's so good. It's just worth it to me.
Yeah. You can eat a lot more of them.
Did you just try to
I
ba-bump?
was trying to put yucca in there.
I
but it
thought
didn't
so.
really-
Ba-dum,
didn't work.
bump.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I was like, did you try to
and-
do that?
When your kids say, "Oh, that looks good. They look like French fries," tell them they're not, and they would hate them. Tell them they would.
Yeah.
Yuca's disgusting, and they would not like it because otherwise you're going to have to get more.
They're so
These
good.
are delicious.
Yeah, they are.
They really, really are.
Yeah.
Then we have 2 kids meals. Actually, a lot of times we don't go for the kids meals because sometimes that value may not be there. I think it really is here, right?
I do too, and agree. And this is where reminding everybody that if you want this as an adult, you can, because they actually have the fried chicken tip yip youngling meal. So you could get 2 of these. And this is crispy chicken served with house-made macaroni and cheese and roasted vegetables. And then you get your choice of, the low-fat milk or a Dasani water for $10.49.
Yeah.
So I think it's obviously a smaller portion, but still,
that added drink is helpful.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, man, those kids are going to need their milk because they need strong bones
Or
to make
water.
it through these parks, right?
Yep.
Or you simply get the water and you throw it in your park bag
Yep.
if you're not going to drink it right then.
Yep.
What is the other option that is different from adult meals that you can get, that we're going to get for the other child? And again, as Rhonda said, adults could order these if they want to.
Yeah, and this is
A Thorian.
okay. Pasta.
They got all
rings.
kinds of Star Wars names
Yes,
to these.
they do.
Yeah.
This is plant-based meat marinara sauce and pasta with a side of roasted vegetables, and of course your side of milk or water. Yeah,
also
this
the
is
nutritional one. This is under the check meals.
Oh.
So this is your healthy.
good.
The only thing I think we've recommended that is technically healthy throughout this entire series.
And this is only $9.49.
Yeah. What we actually ought to do, because when we last went, we ate at Docking Bay 7. We had not eaten there in quite some time.
You had the
I had
chicken,
I had
and then
the
what did
spicy
I
yip
have?
tip. You had something with tuna. Remember, they do have like
That's
a poke
right.
tuna
it's
there
so,
with ahi
that
tuna
was
on it.
good.
That
It was spicy
delicious.
too.
It was spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind going back and actually getting like the pasta rings or trying some of the kids' meals and just to give a real shot at those and see how good they are.
So all that was a total of $41.26. So you're a little over budget, but again, I think that's where it's really cool. Something like this, because you can get a couple of kids meals, you can get 3 kids meals, you can get
I mean, at these prices, really, you could get 4 kids meals for all 4 people in your family.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, we're going to move on to Backlot Express. This is probably the most classic restaurant that I feel like we have mentioned and will mention in this whole series, because it really, for the most part, is burgers, fries. It is chicken tenders. It's not like anything out of this world. This is usually a spot where everybody can eat at.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And with this one, we're actually going to do 4 meals.
Ooh.
Because the price here is actually pretty good if you select the right items. So first of those, for the one adult, and again, you could obviously interchange these all you want, is the 3rd pound Angus bacon cheeseburger. That's a 3rd pound of Angus cheeseburger. It's with bacon. It's on a brioche bun. Comes with carrot sticks or French fries for $13.99.
I would pick French fries. And I'm going to go ahead and say this real quick. This is back when I was a long time ago, and we were kind of doing, I wouldn't eat a big giant meal. So the kids usually have a kid's burger, and I would just get that, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
and again, here you can still save the money by doing that. Same thing comes to our next one, right? For the other adult is the chicken strips. The adult entree has 4 pieces of chicken.
Right.
Comes with French fries for $10.99.
Right.
Now, they have a kid's version of that comes with 2. So if you are a lighter eater as an adult and you're not going to eat all 4 of these, and by the way, I will say things like this, do food safety regulations aside, which we've discussed, we're not great at anyway. We are not nutritionists. We are not health people. We're not telling you to do this.
No.
We're simply going to share what we have done, which is wrap up extra chicken tenders in paper towels or napkins, put them in our park bag, and children have eaten them later.
100%.
And currently everybody's still alive. So I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying we have done it.
Yeah.
Right? So even if you get that 4-piece, because for $2 less is really all you're saving.
Yeah.
You're getting 2 chicken tenders. That's going to come with a strawberry flavored yogurt smoothie. So you're not going to get fries with that one. But you are going to get carrot sticks and then your milk or your little tiny Dasani.
Yes, but I do believe you can if you ask.
Ask for fries? I'm sure they would.
I'm 90% sure.
Yeah.
Because I think
That
that's
we've
what
done that
I've
before.
done
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, because usually like you're not going to eat 4 chicken strips from Disney. They're good
And when
sized.
they are. And when Jeremy and we used to split all the time, and when he would want his own meal, I'd be like, man, I don't want
still get a
all
kid's
this
meal.
food. So I would get a kid's meal.
Yeah.
So
And again, that's $8.49.
yeah.
They also have in the kids' meals, they've got macaroni and cheese, which again would also be fine for an adult. That's going to be served with the same yogurt smoothie, your carrot sticks, and then a choice of the milk or the Dasani. This comes in at $6.99.
And that is your Kraft mac and cheese.
It is.
Out of the box.
It is. So for a lot of people too, and I'm going to do an episode here coming up with John all about best places and meals and stuff for picky eaters. This is a great one for picky eaters.
Oh, 100%.
Because as Ron is saying, we used to go to places and we would say, what kind of mac and cheese is it? Is it Kraft? And they would try and tiptoe around it to be like, no, it's home. And they're like, no, listen, if it's Kraft, please tell us because that's what we want.
Correct. My daughter will not eat it if it's homemade.
If it's literally homemade and it's the best mac and cheese that most humans have ever had, our kids will not eat it.
I want that.
Right.
Not my child.
Exactly. Now they will. Like now they'll eat that kind.
100%.
But so it's just something to know.
They've made it for New Year's
we had it for Thanksgiving. We had it for Christmas. We had it for New Year's.
Yes.
And each kid was making their own versions.
Yes.
So I will say Lacey's is probably most similar to Homecoming. Like it was 2 pounds of cheese to 1 pound of pasta.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
It really was.
Baked and oh my God, that stuff
so
is
good,
man. What is our total now for this final meal?
Yeah, only $41.26.
Yeah. So the most we went over on any meal was basically, I think, almost $1.45 at Woody's Lunchbox, and that included a dessert. The other two only up $1.26, and shoot, we were $5 and almost 74 cents under actually for ABC Commissary. So you got a couple extra bucks left, right? You save some money. We're going to save you even more money with a sit-down meal for 4 folks for under $80.
Yes.
We're going to head over to 50's Primetime Cafe.
Ooh.
This is
a
a
good one.
wonderfully fun place to eat.
Yes, it is.
The food is actually really, really good.
Yes, it is.
And it is very filling, and the portions are giant.
Yes,
right?
they are.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with an appetizer that the whole family can enjoy. And what is that?
This is your beer battered onion rings with horseradish sauce for $13.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
So it's a great little starter.
Yep.
Get everybody, something in their bellies. Then we're going to go with 2 different adult entrees that can easily be split. One possibly amongst the parents, the other 2 amongst kids, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
One of those being Mom's Old Fashioned Pot Roast. This is slow cooked till fork tender and served with roasted garlic mashed potatoes, brown gravy, and garnished with carrots, celery, and onions for $28.
So good.
Hearty.
Their mashed potatoes are so
Yeah,
good.
they're very good. Hearty, heavy,
Yep.
very shareable. And then what are the children or 2 other folks going to split in your family?
Aunt Liz's golden fried chicken. Served with roasted garlic mashed potatoes, chicken gravy, and seasonal vegetables for $27. And we had this, and it was fantastic. So good. So good.
I'm going to really try not to beat a dead horse, but this chicken for us was much, much better than what we had at Homecoming most recently.
Was. I did see where somebody actually just listened to it, and unfortunately, they had the same thoughts as us.
Well, and their thought was, and we actually had a conversation, and this is in the Main Street Magic community on Facebook, because Amy and I got in a little conversation in it as well, is that Homecoming is not true Southern food. It is Southern comfort food. In my opinion, it's done to an elevated level that you would find at like a country club. This is not the food. This is not the food I think of the way it's prepared if your mom was cooking at Homecoming.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
It's the items. It's maybe a pot roast. It's a fried chicken. It's biscuits and gravy. But it is done on such a higher level that it's not really what I would consider true Southern food.
But at prime time,
it is.
It is.
This is true Southern fried chicken with mashed potatoes and seasonal vegetables. This is true. Like either of these meals, I would almost expect to get from your mom.
Yeah.
I agree. I would not expect to get the meals from Homecoming from your mom. Yeah. Not that your mom can't make them, but she's making true Southern food, like more along the lines of a soul food. Like Amy was joking because she's like, any true restaurant that is serving soul food and Southern food probably would get shut down if the health department came through, right? You know what I mean? Because it's grandma's passing down recipes for years, and somebody opening this little diner or something. It's the places you see on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah.
You know, you don't expect the level that you're getting from homecoming, which is its own thing. And it's understandable if somebody goes to homecoming and is like, I really just wanted my grandma's cooking. And that's not technically it.
Right.
You know, that's if your grandpa was Art Smith. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But I do think, and we had that in the Facebook group, that people show up to homecoming and they're actually a little disappointed that it isn't.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because honestly, homecoming is pretty clean by all senses. It's not overly greasy.
Oh,
I mean,
correct.
I could eat a bowl of their mac and cheese and not feel like I needed to lay down in a ditch and die, which is really good.
I would not feel like I need to lay down in a ditch and die, but I would want to lay,
want to lay down
in a bed and just like snuggle up.
But because it is heavy, not because it's greasy.
Correct,
you know what I mean?
Correct.
And there's a place for that, and that place is somewhere like 50s Primetime.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want just good down-to-earth grandma's cooking, and that's what you get there. So
yes, you do.
All of that, right? You got 2 full meals that will feed your family. You got an appetizer, $68.
And you still have
got $12
room
to spare.
You still have room for maybe sharing a dessert. Yeah, because don't they have like good
They have
dessert?
some great desserts.
Yeah.
They've got like the peanut butter and jelly milkshake
That's
you could
right.
get.
I knew there was a milkshake. That's what I was thinking.
Or for that $12, it's going to cost you a bit more than 12, but you go out afterwards and you get yourself 4 Mickey bars or 4 Mickey ice cream sandwiches, right? And you've done a meal for all 4 people. Everybody's full. Everybody had great food. You had it in an amazing environment, and you're probably not tapping out over $100 now for all 4 of you, and that includes some Mickey bars or Mickey, ice cream sandwiches or something. So this was a fun one. This is actually some of my favorite places when I really think about it, to just get good food.
Yeah.
Like anything that we just talked about, I mean, outside of what they're doing over at Docking Bay 7, and again, that's still regular food. They're just giving slight little twists to it.
Right.
This is a lot of items that I think could show up for picky eaters. Like, it wouldn't shock me if some of these items show up when John and I have our conversation.
Oh, 100%. I mean, because, I hate to say it, but this is a lot of places besides Docking Bay 7 that and then when I think of picky eaters now, I think of your parents and what they would eat.
Yeah. You need a plain cheeseburger.
Yep.
You need fries.
Yep.
You need, now my parents would gladly eat at 50s Prime Time. They have.
100%.
We've eaten with them before.
Yes.
There's everything they would eat on the
Remember
menu except
when
for the
we
salmon.
ate
Oh yeah. With them and my brother. Yep.
And
all the children.
We were like in this healthy, like trying to eat healthy.
Yep.
And we go there and we get the salmon to share.
Yeah.
And green beans.
And it was our first time we ever went.
It was. And it was very, very good. But it was so disappointing to not get the full fat, as they joke and say, like full fat Coke, the full fat fried chicken and mashed potatoes and potluck.
Right.
I was seeing everybody else's food being like,
man.
Oh, man.
Well, we're with my brother, who is the epitome of health. I mean, he's probably the healthiest, most in-person shape that I personally know. And not in the sense where, you see him walking down the street and be like, man, that guy works out. Like he is a fit, healthy individual from head to toe with everything he does in his life. So he's sitting there and he's getting the salmon, I think, over the salad.
Did he?
Yeah,
I don't
he did.
remember what
and so I think we were like, all right, that's obviously the healthiest thing on the menu.
Correct.
That's what we're going to get, and we're going to share it. And I've regretted it ever since.
And then when we came and sat down with the girls.
For Christmas in 2022, when we went with them. And we all got our meals.
Yeah. The fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Oh, my God.
So good.
I was like, this is amazing.
Now that we've had the homecoming fried chicken, and again, I would like to go back and try it again and see if I have the same experience. But now I feel like more people are coming out and saying, you know what I mean? Because I think it's one of those places where sometimes I think people are almost a little afraid to speak their mind, because homecoming is traditionally everybody's favorite. It's one of the hardest reservations to get. It's rare you see somebody come away from that and not like it. And so I think sometimes people hold that back a little. So I actually think us coming out, at least for some of our listeners, was like, we didn't love this fried chicken at all. They felt like, ooh, I can say I didn't love it either, like hopefully nobody puts my head on a post or something. But so again, it's just one of those things you got to think about when you're dining all over property. But we hope we gave you a bunch of options here.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll give you Animal Kingdom will be an interesting one, I think.
Yes, it will.
I can already tell you that ahi
That's
tuna
hilarious.
nachos are showing up on our sit down for under
Yeah.
80 meal. And,
Oh,
and
100%.
we could literally just be like, ahi tuna nachos, $27. That's it. That's all you need, man. At that point, everybody get something extra to drink, or sodas or beers or whatever it may be. Go ahead and get some desserts, because that thing's gonna feed y'all. So, if you want, of course, those episodes coming up when we finish out this 4 for 40 series, you got to hit subscribe. You get the brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. And if you are ready for that next trip, of course, no matter where you want to go, our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. And then, of course, as long as you out there, you know that we'd be very, very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.